How we live our lives today will determine what comes next. We are the ones making our food choices, deciding how often we move and how we sleep. All these little or nano habits determine our health. We are in the driving seat. I'm Jules Walters, a health coach for women over 50, helping you to become the CEO of your health. Yes, you got it. The Chief Executive Officer, the one who's in charge and the one who owns it. I've spent decades in healthcare as an entrepreneur and a CEO, and what I've learned is that many of the answers to a long and healthy life are up to us. Like you, I'm over 50, and I'm a big believer in the power of women to adapt. Let's face it, we've done it before. And my message to you is that I absolutely believe that you can become the CEO of your health. You are the expert on you. Today we're going to talk about vision and mindset. And I've got a free resource for you at the end of this podcast, so I hope you can stick around for that. As a health coach, I've seen many women make the journey from being really fed up and frustrated to being empowered and encouraged. They've done it by making small tweaks to their habits that together make all the difference. I call them nano health habits, and I've written a book about it called, predictably, Nano Health Habits. And these are small steps which, built one on top of the other, can transform our health. That's what this podcast, The Health Refresh, is all about. If you're a busy woman who wants the best for herself and her family and is not prepared to accept that what you have now is as good as it gets, then you're in the right place. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the Health Refresh team. I'm so glad you're taking the time for you. And I know that's not easy. 1, to find the time, and 2, to know what to do. It seems nearly every day we're being sold the idea that this or that magic pill or injection is going to solve everything. But the reality is that no one has yet discovered the elixir of youth. There is no one fix for a longer, healthier life. What we do have, though, are nano or micro habits, if you like, that together make all the difference. And in this podcast, we're going to unwrap those nano health habits together, step by step, one at a time. First, I want to talk about mindset. And what I mean by that is, what do we need to believe to really become the CEO of our health? For some of you, you may have always thought of yourself as the keeper of your health. You've taken advice and guidance, but you've decided what is right for you right now. But for some of us, being CEO of our health could be a new concept. Me in charge? What about my doctor? I thought he or she was in charge. Well, let's unpack that alternative for a minute, that your doctor is in charge of your health. Well, firstly, doctors are busy. The average appointment with a doctor is under 20 minutes. Some specialists can be a bit longer, but the trend is moving towards shorter appointments, no matter what kind of doctor you're seeing. And doctors are helping people who are sick. If you're well or doing okay with no obvious signs of disease, you're not going to get much of their time, understandably. Also, your doctor doesn't go food shopping with you or track how much movement you're doing during the day. 2 of the key influences we know on our health. Now, don't get me wrong, I love doctors. My primary care doctor is fantastic and really helps me when I need guidance on the healthcare system and gives me his point of view on some of my choices. But the rest of my health is up to me, and it's up to us. No white coat is coming to save us from ourselves and the good, the bad, and the downright ugly that we choose to eat, or to remind us every day that we need to move. Our choices, the little ones we make every day that will prevent us from tipping from health into disease, are up to us. So why listen to me? Well, I've taken this journey and become the CEO of my health. I've also brought into this journey my experience as a CEO. When I ran companies, I had dashboards and data. I knew how much revenue we were bringing in. I knew our costs. And I knew what levers I had to pull so that we could make a profit and hopefully keep going. I see our health as the same. We have inputs, what we eat, how often we move, how we sleep, and how we manage stress. And we have results, things like weight, our muscle mass, our blood sugar, our bone density, and our cholesterol. And if we don't like those results, we have levers that we can adjust to get the results we want. So that's what I mean about being the CEO of your health, knowing your numbers, knowing what they mean, and knowing what influence you have over them. Now, other people can serve on your health team, and I recommend that you do have others on your health team, like your primary care doctor and specialists, like a gynecologist. And other members of your family might also join you on your health journey if they too are interested in health. We're going to live in our bodies for some time, and we only get one, so we might as well understand how it works. I also appreciate that some of us have by now had some health shocks. That might be cancer or knees and hips that don't work as well as they used to. But you are still here. You are a survivor, and your daily choices will have a big influence on what comes next for you too. I'm a big believer that with a little support and encouragement, you can feel so much more confident and empowered about how your body is working for you every day. It's all about becoming active and not passive when it comes to your health. I also have a degree in molecular genetics, and I love sharing how our genes influence our health, particularly our metabolism. But that's for a later podcast. And I trained as a health coach through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York. And through that experience, I learned how many of us can get stuck on our health journey and maybe even give up. Maybe we've tried things in the past that worked for a little while and then didn't. So I'd love for you to think of me as your personal guide and champion. I will always be cheering you on every step of the way. My promise to you is that you'll come away from each and every podcast with at least one piece of news you can use. That's one idea that you can put into practice in the next week or the next month or whenever you're ready. Most of us will live to be 80 years old. That's the average. And many of us will live much longer than that, to 100 and beyond. I know women in my family live long, so it's top of me that life is long and strong. So what do you want for the next 30 years, at least, to look like? What's your vision for that time? If 30 years is too long, how about, say, the next 6 months? How would you like to feel? Or what's the one thing you'd like to accomplish health-wise? Let me share with you that part of my vision is that I want to be playing squash well into my 90s. Now, I'm not a great player, but I'm consistent. I turn up on the court every week, and I'm getting a bit better through a little coaching. I'm playing the long game, and I want to be winning squash competitions in my 90s, and I really hope that I'm not the only woman still on the court. So I invite you in the next week to think about your health. What is your vision for your health in the next year or beyond? And if the word vision is too big, what elements of your health would you like to improve? You are not helpless. You are a strong, powerful, and resourceful woman. You don't need to know everything right now. You just need to take one step forward. And I've put together a simple guide to help you get started on your health vision. And you can find it at juleswalters.com/vision. That's juleswalters.com/vision. It's a free resource, and I hope you find it useful. So that's it for this week. And before we go, I need to make clear, if I haven't already, that I'm not a doctor. This is the legal bit. I'm a health coach, and my lane is lifestyle and how it affects our health. If you have a medical condition or suspect that you might be developing one, then a doctor is the right person to ask. Next week, we're going to talk about 4 pillars or principles that I've found helpful in my health journey. So see you here next week, same time, same place.